Hello everybody, Daniel here. I'm going to do an LP. This time we're going to put in more effort than a damp flannel and actually sound like I give a toss about what I'm doing. And I do, because it's actually something I have a bit of interest in doing, mainly because I can't remember anything about it. Released in, I believe, 2004, as I shall hopefully get backed up in just a second now. Pokemon Colosseum is the prequel to a game that I have played and LP'd previously, albeit not narrated. Now, I'm hopefully going to enjoy this a lot more than the previous one, in that I am going to speed things up, so you will probably enjoy it. I'm going to speed majority of things up that are, quite arbitrary. I will skip things out, like constantly running to Pokemon centres. I will try and show you these things along the way, though, in case somehow you intend to play with me. If you're viewing the start now, I am post-recording, just so you know. It would take too much effort to record at the same time, and my laptop would not be capable of doing it. If you want a brief overview of what's happening just now, guy with sunglasses, I'm not going to spoil things as I go along, running away with his pet Umbreon, stones having big explosions. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, I suppose, just for namesake, the bald head lunatics there. Their Team Snag'em, they play a very big part in this game as opposed to the sequel, where they barely do anything at all. And you'll also notice, which is something I might have noticed, I don't know if you'll have noticed or not, but the graphics, considering it's a 2004 GameCube title, is surprisingly impressive. Although I will point out as I go along, there are some very much unrefined bits and pieces, one of which you'll see pretty much 1 minute or less from now. Although, on the whole, it does look very good. I mean, take a look at that wheel, for example, just to the left. I'll show you the Pokemon quickly as well. Each Pokemon has a 69 in a certain statistic. Yes, I am a child at heart. And you have to remember, this is a 3rd generation game, so the move Bite, as an example, is a special attack and not a physical. Relax isn't too bad, and Bowl isn't too bad either. I actually attempted to record this previously, and the last time I did it and the recording didn't work. The Espeon was adamant, so you can tell how chuffed I was with that. That's the snag list that I've just shown you. Nothing is on it yet because we've not seen anything. It's the same with the email, which I've accidentally clicked twice, but now you get to see when you get an email in this game, in the same way that you probably got one in Paper Mario 1000 Year Door in the mailbox SP. You get emails from time to time throughout the game, and I've just chosen a pretty much at random ringtone just so you can hear it more than anything else. Mysterious bag there, and it's squirming. Let's go on to that in a minute. Now, as you may be able to see here, the walking in this game is a bit unusual. I'm going to put the text on at such a speed that you can read it as you go along. Occasionally I will read some of it myself. Normally though, I'll just give you an overview. And if I've rattled through it, it's usually because the text doesn't particularly matter. All you need to know in context there, if you couldn't be asked to read it, is that 2 guys, they look pretty shady, don't they? They're happy with their work, and they have travelled away, we have no idea where at this point in time. I like how the train is an actual building. Ooh, news alert. Authorities have made a stunning announcement, and it's obviously about what the clip you've just seen. Team Snag'em, yes, I've already told you about that. Marked for arrest. The hideout was only found by explosion. You've got to wonder how hard it could be to find a complex that large in the middle of a desert full of nothing, but Pokemon logic for you. I will try and talk to everybody as well so you can read as I go along and I'm talking. I thought I'd say no there for sake of argument. They use a device that we have stolen, usually to capture Pokemon from trains, because in other games you can't do that. If you've tried, you'll know. And I think as kids a lot of us will have tried. That's the bartender who has the slightly reggy hat on. He becomes a bit more important later on. So, no, just not as a spoiler, but we will be coming back here. The jukebox doesn't do anything, unfortunately. I thought that would have been quite a good gimmick to have maybe soundtracks from the game on there. That was just a suggestion that came to my mind when I saw it, and I was clicking it here for sake of checking. This guy here is kind of important. Say yes or no, you get the same answer. And he thinks that you're a good battler by staring at you. So he's psychic. Although his hair is purpley pink, so that's the type colour that it represents. Maybe there's a bit more to it there. Anyway, there's nothing else to do because we've talked to anybody, so let's just leave and see what happens. And we get a cutscene. Yo, wait up! Oh, what sort of hell accent was that? Anyway, his name's Willie, and he's actually in the sequel as well. He's actually quite well, I say he's an important character. He's a notable character, shall we say. He wants to have a quick battle because he thinks we're good, and we go, well, why not? Experience is experience, isn't it? He's a bit creepy though. He's a bit keen. He's on full power, full throttle. Whoopah! Vroom vroom. He's also a car apparently. Anyway, his battle. I'm not going to speed this one up because it's the first one. I love the music for this battle. It has to be said. Actually, the music in this game all around is very, very good. I mean, it's got to be said, the PBR game that has come is basically a version of this in the future that was nowhere near as good. As bad and as boring as certain aspects of that game were, the music was always pretty good, and they've carried that on. Luckily, this game is far more exciting to talk about, and unlike in most other Pokemon games, when you got these two Pokemon, the Espeon and the Umbreon, they don't just have the standard level up moves at their level. Also, as a suggestion, if you notice, the Umbreon is a level higher than the Espeon, and I would possibly suggest that's because the Umbreon actually did the effort to help steal the Snag'em device that you saw earlier. I don't know if that's true or not, or whether that's just me making stuff up, but I thought that was an interesting thing to sort of think about, and that's what I thought when I first played this game at the age of 11 or 12. Anyway, Willie's not very good, as you may be able to tell. He's got two Zigzagoons, neither of which have any good moves at all. If you played through Ruby, Sapphire or Emerald, you'll know that Zigzagoon is terrible. And it's only when it evolves into Linoon, or Linoon as the PBR announcer likes to say, that it actually became any type of pain at all in the deep long grass that the third generation games were renowned for. Anyway, we've beaten Willie now, which is good. I like also in the background there you can see the train, still quite well rendered. It still needs seasoning. Yeah, a little bit of money. Money in this game is pretty plentiful, it has to be said. You start with 10,000 Pokédollars, I believe, at the start of this game, so you do get a fair bit. He's advising us to go to Phoenix City, which is another location in the desert area. It's a considerably bigger area than the area we're just in. The outskirts stand is literally, apparently, just a gasoline stand, although you obviously can't buy petrol as the antagonist. So there we are. Nice bit of a... Well, what type of vehicle would you describe that as? I honestly don't know. It looks like just basically a tractor engine's been parked on the front of a moped. But there we are. Oh, it's these two fellas again with the bag and some bad lifting. Get a grip. Must be a heavy bag. Oh, apparently it's squirming. It makes it tough to hold on to. I wonder what's in there. Settle down. Oh, is it? Oh, there's something lively in there. Kidnappers! The tape didn't work. Yeah, they're gonna... Yeah. Oh dear, they've just seen us. They've just spotted us, guys! What are they gonna... Ooh! If you actually notice there very subtly, the bag went through his leg. A bit of a collision there. The guy that seems to be wearing a pair of boxers on his head. Anyway, we don't battle a guy that wears boxers on his head yet. Ooh, a spoiler. But no, this is Folly. We actually meet him a few times throughout the day, and his title changes. He's called a Shady Guy at the moment. That changes in due course. I'll highlight it when it happens. Anyway, this is going to be very, very similar to the battle against Willie. They're both normal types we face. They're both rubbish. And he has the cheek to yeah, you'll see at the end of the battle his comment is a bit unusual. Whismers are actually so bad, even worse than Zigzagoons, that I can one-hit kill them with confusion. Like I said, this is not... the first couple of battles in this game are pathetic. It's not like in previous portable games where you have a rival battle immediately and the Pokemon are very evenly matched. Nothing like that. What I will also do is point out in the game when the moves are physical and special, and that when it differs to what it does nowadays. Uproar, for example, is special nowadays, but in this game it's physical. It also seems kind of weird that the game gives you return on your Espeon by default, considering the base attack of Espeon is terrible, especially mine because it's bold. But anyway, that's another battle done, rattled through quickly. This game is actually incredibly difficult to grind on because everything takes so much longer to do because of all the animations, the fact that there aren't any wild Pokemon battles in this game. There are in the sequel, and not many. You're no ordinary trainer because you took out some awful Whismers. Ooh, hang on. We might be Team Snagum's what? The public have got involved. They must have heard this outcry. Eek, somebody rob us! They're robbers! We're no robbers, we're kidnappers. Good effort there, guy wearing boxers. A bit of slapstick humour there, I suppose, just to keep it nice and light. This is a Pokemon game, despite the fact that it's got theft all over it. The guy in shorts must be trying to open that bag, and he seems to be failing. Well, it is a horrible thing to do, putting people in a bag. Please, we need your help to open a bag. The sack's mouth is firmly closed. Undo the knot. I suppose we better, sure. We suppose we better. We undid the knot. And ooh, who's that? Hang on, you look suspiciously like Misty. No, in fairness, I'm going to put that reference there because when I first played this game as a younger child, I thought that was Misty. As it turns out, it's kind of more a stunt double, and she doesn't know where she is, and neither do we really. We only know the name so far. Anyway, we don't really know who they are. Well, do we know anything about them? I suppose we'll have to give them a name, won't we? Rather than giving a rival a name, because you don't have a rival technically in this game, you name your bitch here. And I actually had a complete lack of imagination, and considering she's false and not a proper Misty, we're going to call it... I know it's pronounced Yuki, but I'm going to call her Yucky because it's more appropriate, and you'll see why in terms of controllers why I've called her Yucky very quickly, no doubt, because it gets me rather stressed. No, I'm going to tell you now before you wonder why I get angry so quickly. If you go into something like a shop or any type of building and you want to turn around afterwards, she consistently gets in the way so you can't turn round. Anyway, what we're going to do now is go to the mayor because, kidnapping is pretty bad and we're going to have to find out why that happened. So we're going to take her there and we're going to go there ourselves to see if we can find any answers to any questions we could possibly have. We're going to accept the escort request because we're lovely people like that. But mostly because if we say no, we'll end up having to do it anyway. Doodly-doo-doo-doo-doo. Sorry. Anyway, that is all sorted for now, and that's the first part done. I hope you found it interesting. Yak, yak, yak. More next time. Play Up Weekly. Ta-da!